Beautifully poised, this small bronze king offers wine or milk to a god. The fluid, athletic modeling of his body and details of his costume indicate a date in mid-Dynasty 18. In fact, the statuette represents the great King Thutmose III, as is revealed by traces of his praenomen, or throne name, Menkheperra, on the belt buckle. This figure is the earliest known New Kingdom royal bronze statuette, and with a few late Middle Kingdom copper and copper alloy precursors. It initiates the tradition of bronze statuary in Egypt. It is a black bronze, darkened to heighten the luster of its precious metal inlays. The left eye rim and the nipples retain their original gold inlay. The body of the statuette was solid cast, with separately cast arms. One is missing, fitted onto dowels. Even without the inscription, the facial features of this famed sphinx would identify it as Amenhotep III. The graceful body of the lion transforms quite naturally into human forms and hands. In this form, the sphinx combines the protective power of the lion with the royal function of offering to the gods. The even tone of the fine blue glaze and the almost flawless condition of this sculpture make it unique among ancient Egyptian faience statuettes. This wooden panel is part of the left arm of a throne that belonged to the pharaoh Thutmose IV. Traces of glue on the surface suggest that the low relief, with its exquisitely carved details, was once covered with gold foil. On one side, the king is shown as a standing sphinx subduing the enemies of Egypt. The falcon at the upper right represents the god Horus, who is identified as the great god, with dappled plumage, giving life and dominion. The text above the sphinx's back reads, Horus, the Lord of might and action, trampling all foreign lands. This delicate ivory gazelle stands on a wooden pedestal with inlaid decoration depicting plants that allude to its semi-desert habitat. The gazelle has its head erect and appears alert, as though sensing danger. Egyptian artists were keen observers of the world and produced many naturalistic images of the creatures around them. The gazelle's ears have broken off and the horns, made separately and probably of another material, are missing. This figure wears the red crown of Lower Egypt, and the face appears to reflect the features of the reigning king, most probably Amenhotep II or Senusret II. However, the divine kilt suggests that the statuette was not merely a representation of the living ruler. Together with its counterpart wearing the white crown of Upper Egypt, now in the Egyptian Museum, Cairo, the figure was discovered standing behind a shrine that contained an object sacred to the god Anubis, the so-called Amenhotep, and the two figures could be understood to have functioned as guardians of the Amenhotep. The ensemble was discovered in 1914 in the area surrounding the pyramid of Senusret, at Lisht South during the museum's excavation of a mud brick enclosure surrounding the mastaba of Imhotep, a 12th dynasty official. A chamber had been built into the south part of the enclosure wall, and in it the statuettes and shrine were hidden, doubtlessly after having played a part in a dramatic funerary ceremony.